Hello, Ian Agrell, Agrell Architectural Carving. We've been asked by Ben to talk about chisels, what's my favourite chisel to carve with, etc. Gouges, chisels, for wood carving. All the work we do is by hand and done with mallets and done with chisels and gouges. So I'd like you to show you my box. This is my box. I never travel without my box. And so this mahogany box has a number of odds and ends, and we have some chisels here, pencils, erasers, carbon paper to transfer information onto the wood with, etc., sharpening stuff here. And all the drawers have different chisels and different things. Notice that they're all facing towards me, so that way I can see the sections. Now, a section of a chisel in wood carving chisels ranges from a number 1, which is this. Now, a number 1 is completely flat across there. It doesn't have a curve in it like this one has. It's flat. And you can get a 1/4 of an inch number 1 or a 2-inch number 1, but that's a number 1. So I use this mostly for lettering. Very rarely, in fact almost never, use it for ornamental carving. Then as the numbers increase, you go number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to a number 11, and this is a number 11. You can see it's quite a big curve on that, so that's a number 11. So this is what we will call a high section, and then a number 1 will be a low section. So when I'm teaching, I might say, right, I think you ought to use a lower section, a large lower section on that particular job. The most commonest chisel used would be, I would say, a number 5. When we've done restoration and had to copy a piece of carving that has been lost, what we can do is we can fit our chisels into the various parts of the piece that we have left and find out what the original carver used. And often it was a number 5. So this is a number 5. So that, to answer Ben's question, is my favourite chisel. However, I do like big chisels. And so this is a number 4, and you can see it's probably about 1.5 inches wide, to use inches, old money. And we can talk about the sharpening of it later, but that's a different subject. So these things. Then we have things like spoon chisels, you see, and guess why that's called a spoon chisel? With that curve, so that you can carve in like this. And again, the sections can range from a number 1. So this will be a flat sort of spoon chisel. It's not a number 1, but it's probably number 3. And this one maybe is a number 7 or 8 spoon. And then, of course, they can come very small sizes, little winklers. That's a number 1, but it's a spoon for winkling out those little backgrounds. So a lot of these chisels I've had for many, many years. I recognise, I've just seen one, here it is. This chisel I've had since 1961. I've been carving that since 1961. Obviously it's a great favourite of mine, and I recognise it, my little friend. It's yours. So all these chisels, many chisels. How many chisels? It really depends on how long what you're doing, but because we do such a range of carving, we have to have a pretty good range of chisels. If you were just doing sculpting, probably you would just be using something like these sorts of chisels. And so on chisels, gouges. Oh, one thing I forgot. There's a V tool. Here we are. I must show you a V tool. Here's one of my V tools, and you can see that V there. And so that's a V tool. Again, you can use it for maybe starting, opening up a piece of decoration or moulding or something when you're carving or moulding. V tools.